You ever notice how a younger woman will glance at an older man? Not for long, not enough for anyone else to pick up on, but just long enough to tell that something clicked in her mind? Maybe it happened to you once. You caught her eyes from across a cafe, or maybe she was laughing with her friends but looked your way for a moment longer than she meant to. And in that quiet moment, you could feel it. A kind of curiosity, a spark, something subtle but magnetic. Most men don't realize what's actually happening in that instant, but psychology reveals that younger women are far more perceptive than they appear. They notice something about older men instantly, and it's not what most men think. It's not about your looks, your car, or even your money. What she notices first is the energy you carry, the quiet, composed presence that tells her you've seen things, lived things, and that nothing she says will throw you off. See, younger women are drawn to that emotional steadiness because it stands in stark contrast to the uncertain energy of men her own age. Younger guys often seek validation. Older men, on the other hand, radiate a sense of calm certainty, a kind of self-possession that says, I don't need to prove anything. That's what she notices first. Not your physical features, but the emotional temperature you bring into a room. Think about it. When you walk into a space, do you carry tension or peace? Do you speak to fill silence, or do you allow silence to work for you? Most younger women are hyper-attuned to emotional signals because their attraction mechanism is deeply psychological. They might not consciously analyze it, but they feel it. That's why when you move with quiet confidence, not arrogance but ease, you immediately stand out. It's not about trying to impress her, it's about being unaffected. When a woman senses that you're not desperate for her attention, her brain starts asking, why? That's when curiosity becomes attraction. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're sitting at a restaurant, alone, reading, or just enjoying your meal. You're not scanning the room, not seeking eye contact. You're content in your space. A group of younger women walks in. One of them glances at you. She doesn't look because you're the best-looking man there, but because something about your body language communicates maturity. You're relaxed, composed, maybe even a little mysterious. She'll notice your postures, the way you sit back, the way you don't fidget, how your movements are slow and deliberate. In her mind, that calmness reads as control, and for a woman, control is safety. Safety is attraction. This is where most older men go wrong. They think they need to act younger to appeal to younger women. But the truth is, the moment you try to fit in, you lose the very thing that sets you apart. Your power is not in mimicking youth, it's in embodying depth. You're not competing with younger men in looks or energy. You're offering something entirely different: stability, presence, wisdom. That's what she feels first, even if she doesn't have the words for it. Here's what psychology says. Women's subconscious attraction is triggered not by words, but by signals. They pick up micro-expressions, tone of voice, and body cues faster than men realize. So if your presence says, I know who I am, you've already made an impression before you've even spoken. You don't have to chase, convince, or perform. You just exist, and she notices. Because deep down, she's not looking for a man who tries to be impressive. She's looking for a man who's already at peace with himself. What happens next is subtle. So subtle that most older men completely overlook it. After that first moment of noticing you, she doesn't just look away and forget. Her subconscious starts observing everything. How you talk, how you react, how you carry yourself when you're not the center of attention. You see, attraction for younger women isn't built on grand gestures or loud confidence. It's formed in the quiet, consistent signals that tell her, this man doesn't need validation. He is validation. Now here's the thing. When she's around men her own age, she's used to seeing competition, tension, and a kind of hidden insecurity. Guys trying too hard to appear confident. They laugh a bit louder, stand a bit taller, flex their opinions just a little more than necessary. But when she meets an older man who moves differently, who listens more than he speaks, who doesn't rush to fill every silence, she feels something she's not used to: emotional gravity. That's what pulls her in. It's not the age difference, it's the difference in energy. Let's take a common example. Imagine she's at work, or maybe a social event, and there's an older guy there. Maybe he's her colleague, maybe he's just in the same circle. He doesn't flirt, he doesn't try to stand out, he's just present, calm, grounded. While others chase attention, he gives off the feeling that attention naturally finds him. Over time, she starts to feel a mix of respect and intrigue. It's confusing for her because her logical mind might say, "He's older, he's not my type." But her emotional brain whispers, "Then why can't I stop thinking about him?" That's the psychological tension that makes attraction powerful. When her feelings contradict her logic, here's what you need to understand. Women are emotional detectives. They rate confidence not in what you say, but in how comfortable you are in your own silence. When you're not desperate to impress, your stillness becomes magnetic. When you speak with patience and calm authority, your words hit deeper. That's because she's not just listening to what you say, she's feeling who you are while you say it. Younger women notice this contrast fast. They pick up on how you handle minor annoyances, how you respond to a waiter's mistake, a late appointment, or a rude comment. A younger man might react impulsively, trying to prove he's dominant. But an older man who simply smiles, stays composed, and doesn't need to win every moment shows mastery over himself. That's what women find deeply attractive, though they rarely admit it. It's not the control over others, it's the control over yourself. There's a fascinating psychological pattern here. When a woman notices that you're calm in chaos, her subconscious associates you with stability. And stability to a woman equals safety. That's what she notices before she ever thinks about your looks, status, or money. The reason she can't stop glancing your way isn't because you did something flashy. It's because your presence gives her emotional relief. She feels grounded just being near you. And that's the irony most older men miss. You don't have to chase attraction, you simply have to stop chasing validation. Because the moment you stop trying to prove your worth, women start sensing your value. It's primal, it's subconscious, and it's one of the deepest truths about attraction psychology. But there's another layer most men never realize. Something that turns that subtle curiosity into emotional attachment. It's not what you show her, it's what you withhold. See, most men get too eager once they feel that small bit of interest from a woman. They start over-communicating, over-texting, over-explaining themselves, trying to build connection through effort. But younger women are drawn to older men precisely because of the contrast, the restraint, the mystery, the emotional discipline. When you don't reveal everything at once, when you let her wonder a little, you create a psychological tension that pulls her closer. It's not a game, it's a rhythm. You're teaching her without words that your attention is something to be earned, not handed out freely. Women are biologically wired to be intrigued by uncertainty, not confusion or mixed signals, but that gentle mystery that makes her think, what's on his mind? The moment you make her feel like she already has you, the chase is over. But when she senses that you have a life that doesn't revolve around her, that you move with purpose, that you're selective with your energy, her respect for you skyrockets. She realizes that your presence is valuable because it's not available to everyone. There's a psychological principle called selective scarcity. It means people value what's rare. When you embody that, not by pretending, but by truly being a man with direction and self-control, you trigger a different kind of attraction in her. You become the man she can't easily read, can't fully predict, and can't completely have. That's what her emotional mind finds irresistible. It's the same reason why she might lose interest in younger men who overshare or show their cards too soon. Mystery keeps the emotional tension alive. Imagine this scenario. She texts you after a conversation that clearly had chemistry. Instead of instantly replying, you take your time. Not out of strategy, but because you're genuinely busy or focused. That space creates contrast. Her mind starts to replay moments, her curiosity grows, and before she realizes it, she's investing emotionally. You're not chasing her. You're letting her come to you. And that's exactly what younger women find magnetic about mature men. That sense of containment. Containment is power. It's when you can feel attraction but not be controlled by it. When you can admire her beauty, her charm, but still choose how and when to engage. Younger women feel that, and it disarms them in a way they don't expect. It's rare for them to meet a man who isn't ruled by his impulses, who isn't trying to impress, who seems grounded no matter what energy they bring. When she realizes she can't easily sway your emotions, her subconscious respects you. That respect is the foundation of lasting attraction. So the truth is, what younger women instantly notice in older men isn't just confidence, it's emotional discipline. The ability to stay centered while everyone else is reactive. That's what she feels first, even if she can't explain it. You're not trying to impress her, and that's exactly why she's impressed. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. There's one signal that instantly tells a younger woman you're different. It's not in your looks, not your voice, not even your words. It's something much deeper. It's the look in your eyes, not in a poetic sense, but in a deeply psychological one. You see, when a younger woman meets an older man, she instantly scans his eyes for emotional cues. Her subconscious is searching for one thing. How does this man see me? And here's what most men don't realize. Women can sense neediness in your eyes long before you ever say a word. If your energy says, I hope she likes me, she feels it. If your gaze says, I already know who I am with or without your approval, she feels that too. That difference changes everything. The eyes are the first signal of presence, and presence is what younger women find irresistibly magnetic in older men. When you look at her, you're not supposed to look through her. You look at her like you actually see her, but without seeking anything in return. That's what unsettles her in the best way possible, because it's rare. Younger men often look at women with desire mixed with desperation, like they're hoping for a chance. But an older man with true confidence looks with calm awareness. He notices her beauty, her energy, but he doesn't need it. That's what creates the spark. It's emotional polarity. There's a moment every woman remembers. That brief second when she locks eyes with a man who sees her without trying to possess her. That moment plants something in her mind. It's respect. It's fascination. It's the beginning of a story she might not even understand yet. And that's what she notices first about you, even before she admits it to herself. That you're not driven by the same impulses as everyone else. You have a centered energy that she wants to understand, maybe even be part of. It's the same reason women often describe certain older men as mysteriously attractive. They can't pinpoint why, but it's because your vibe communicates emotional safety and authority at the same time. It tells her you've lived through enough storms to no longer be shaken by small waves. And for a woman, especially a younger one, that's incredibly grounding. Because in her world, most interactions with men are chaotic. Impulsive texts, emotional games, uncertainty. When she feels your steady energy, it gives her something she didn't even know she was craving: peace. And that's what you need to remember. It's not about saying the perfect words or having the perfect look. It's about embodying the energy of a man who is already whole. That's what younger women instantly notice in older men. They sense completeness, the kind that doesn't demand, doesn't chase, doesn't over-explain. It's quiet confidence, not arrogance. It's knowing your worth without broadcasting it. But here's where the real transformation happens. Once she notices that, her behavior starts to change around you. The way she speaks, the way she plays with her hair, the way her tone softens, all subtle shifts revealing what's happening beneath the surface. You'll notice it in small, almost invisible ways. The way her voice softens when she speaks to you, how her laughter becomes less forced, how she starts to linger just a little longer when the conversation ends. Younger women often don't even realize they're doing it. It's her subconscious reacting to the emotional space you create. When she feels that calm, grounded, masculine energy, her body language naturally shifts. She might tilt her head slightly when you talk, hold eye contact a little longer than usual, or find excuses to keep the interaction going. These aren't coincidences. They're responses to how she feels around you. Psychologically, she's testing your energy without even meaning to. She'll make subtle comments to see if you get flustered. She'll tease lightly just to see if you stay composed. Every time you remain centered, she feels it more deeply. You become the emotional anchor in a world where most men are just waves, unpredictable, unstable, constantly trying to prove themselves. That's why she notices you, because you represent something she rarely encounters: emotional control paired with quiet confidence. And the more she senses it, the more she starts to trust it. Trust for women is the foundation of attraction. When she feels safe in your presence, not because you're harmless, but because you're in control of yourself, that's when real chemistry begins. She'll start to share more, open up emotionally, even challenge you playfully, all while trying to see if you're really as composed as you seem. And that's when you know she's emotionally invested, when she stops trying to impress you and starts trying to understand you. This is why younger women are drawn to older men in ways they can't always explain. It's not just about the gray in your hair or the calm in your voice. It's the subtle feeling that you know yourself. You're not performing. You're not trying to fit into anyone's expectations. You've seen enough, learned enough, and lived enough to understand that validation isn't the same as connection. And that understanding radiates from you. It shows in the way you walk, speak, and simply exist. That's the first thing she notices, even if she can't put it into words. So if you take one thing from this, let it be this. Younger women don't fall for older men because of status or appearance. They fall for how being around you makes them feel. Your calmness gives her comfort. Your silence gives her space to express herself. Your maturity gives her a sense of safety she doesn't find elsewhere. It's not a trick. It's not a strategy. It's a reflection of your inner state. When you're grounded, she feels grounded. When you're at peace with yourself, she finds peace with you. That's the real secret behind what younger women instantly notice first in older men. It's not your looks. It's not your money. It's not even your words. It's your presence, the quiet, masculine energy that says, I've already found myself, and I don't need to be found by you. And when a woman feels that, she can't help but be drawn in. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more insights only on Psychology of Desire.